Hello, my darlings, and welcome to my first video of my new plan that I'm really super excited for. So, as you can see here, in March, we're going to be working on assertiveness. There's only 2 weeks left of March. So this week, we're going to do understanding assertiveness. And next week, we're going to work on expressing our feelings. Look at this awesome photo of me. I love it. I love these new photos. So I'm afraid you're going to get them all over the place just because I'm excited and I like them. Okay. So this list, this is what you're going to have in your worksheets to download. If you don't want to download them, we're going to be talking through them during the week on the group as well. So on these next 2 pages, there is 12 scenarios involving different people. I'll just read one of them for you. So Naomi is very cross. Her boyfriend Richard had forgotten her birthday. She decides to tell him exactly what she thinks of him in front of all of her friends. So there is some scenarios like that on these worksheets. Hang on a minute. Yeah, so there's 2 lots of those. I could go back and edit all this, but I'm not going to because I can't be bothered, to be honest. So this is your 3rd page. So it says, consider the scale below. Where do you think the people in the previous activity are on the scale? So Naomi, who we just talked about, is upset that her boyfriend forgot her birthday. What else did it say about her? I can't remember now. I'm so organized. Naomi is very cross. Her boyfriend Richard has forgotten her birthday. She decides to tell him exactly what she thinks of him in front of all of her friends. Is she being passive? Is she being aggressive? Or is she being assertive? Now you can see that there's a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being aggressive and 1 being passive. So if you are going to go and tell your boyfriend exactly what you think of him in front of your friends, well, I'm going to leave it to you to work out. But whatever you think. Passive is someone who doesn't like to cause a fuss, is quiet and meek, but still gets upset and still gets angry, but doesn't show it, hides it. And aggressive is someone who overshows it, over exaggerates. So they feel angry or upset and then they come across as being aggressive. Assertive is the perfect place in between. And that's what we'd like to aim for, is being assertive, is being able to put across how we're feeling without upsetting someone, but still being true to ourselves. So on this little chart, think of what number on the assertiveness scale you think each person from the previous sheet is, and just fill in the form. And then the next question is, do you think it's possible to be both passive and aggressive? What do you think? And if it was possible, what do you think that person would be like? I know we swing around talking about passive aggressive a lot. So what do you think that actually means? What would it look like? This next page is all about passive people. So think about what it means to be passive. What does that person look and sound like to you? Can you think of a time when you were passive? How would you have liked to be instead? I can think of a time when I was passive. Well, I'm trying to think of a time. I used to be very passive. I used to be worried about confrontation. So if anything happened, I would sort of make myself very small and very quiet and sort of get out of the way. I'm still a little bit like that. I'm still not massively keen on confrontation. So that is passive. And then the next page is aggressive. So it's the same questions. Think about what it means to be aggressive. What does that person look and sound like? Can you think of a time when you were aggressive? And how would you have liked to be instead? So aggressive is, as it says on the tin, when you overreact, when you react in an aggressive manner. And then we have assertive. Think about what it means to be assertive. What does that person look and sound like? Can you think of a time when you were assertive? And how did you feel compared to when you were passive or aggressive? Maybe also think about the reaction of others when you were in an assertive state of mind. Now, the last 2 sheets are just a little bit of information. So if you're passive, if someone is passive, their style is very much I lose, you win. They're not expressing their needs or their feelings, and they put themselves down. They don't value their self. They're very much like, okay, all right, you know, a bit of an underdog. You might see someone with a small posture who's hunched over, who has little eye contact. Their voice is quiet and hesitant. And you hear them say sorry a lot, or I can't seem to, or I expect that's my fault, or it's only my opinion. And the result is that they don't respond to hurtful situations. They allow problems to continue and continue and continue. They may have an explosive outburst when they can't take anymore. And they then feel guilty and confused. So they return to being passive again. Does this sound like someone you know? It's interesting, isn't it? I find all this really interesting. So someone who's assertive is an I win, you win person. They don't have to put someone else down to make themselves feel better. They're honest, they're open, and they're direct, and they listen to others' opinions. You see someone who is upright and balanced and has a good posture, who has steady eye contact. Their voice is clear and easy to hear. You hear them say, I, or I believe, I need, I feel. There is none of that, it's your fault, or you did this. It's, I feel like this. You know, not even you made me feel like this. I feel like this. You know, take ownership of it. They'll say no if they don't want to do something, and they'll put forward open questions. And the result of that is that they respect others' opinions and they listen respectfully. They're confident about who they are. They realize it's important to speak honestly. They address issues as they arise, and they take the responsibility for their own happiness, because we all know that it's down to us. No one else can make us happy. We know that. And finally, the aggressive person. So their style is very much, I win, you lose. They domineer and they insist. They don't listen to others. You see a tense posture. They point, they clench their fists. They interrupt with a loud voice. You hear them blame you a lot. They use the word you. That's your problem, not mine. You can't be serious. You owe me. And the result is that they dominate others and control them by either abusing them or sabotaging a situation. They criticize and blame others to make themselves feel better. They become alienated from others, and they never mature. Now, you'll notice when you're going through the scenarios on the first few pages, just take us back. Some of them involve another person, and if you really think about it, you can think about the personality of the other person as well. So you can go as deep into this as you want to. So, for example, let's think. Gareth is not enjoying work at the moment. Jim has been making Gareth do his work for him. Gareth has been allowing this to happen for a couple of weeks now, but has decided that he'd prefer to let it continue than make a fuss, as he knows that Jim can do a lot worse. So you've got two different personalities there. And you've got an assertive person, you've got an aggressive personality and a passive personality. Now, I wonder what would happen if one of those became assertive instead of aggressive or passive. I wonder how that would play out. So these are all things that we can think about and we can talk about next Monday in our chat. Now, we're still going to do our catch up on what we've been doing during the week. We're still going to do a little celebration, a little bit of gratitude. We are still going to check up on our accountabilities. Anything that you said you're going to do in the week, we're going to just have a chat about it and see how we did. And this is all optional. You don't have to do any of this, but this is what it's going to be based on, just so you have an awareness of what the conversation is going to be about. And then the final slide is this one. So basically, assertiveness is being able to stand up for ourselves and tell people how we feel, not in a horrible way, not in a blamey way, but just in a, I feel like this, you know, to be able to say no without guilt, to be able to make suggestions, to be able to say sorry and apologize, to be able to disagree with others, and to be able to request something or request someone do something. That is all of my slides. The last page is my price list, which I am putting out there for you. I am normally quite quiet about my prices, but there is a few of you here that are on a trial. And if you would like to continue working with me after your 2 free sessions and after your 3 month in the group, these are the prices. So the basic membership is £16 a month, and that doesn't include any coaching, but it does include access to these workshops and the Facebook group. And then the prices go up as you see. And that is all I want to show you. I look forward to catching up with you this week. Let's have lots and lots of communication on the group. I'm really excited, and I'm looking forward to next Monday where we can chat about all things assertiveness. Exciting. See you soon. She says if she can work out how to switch it off. Can't work out how to switch it off. Where is the record? Oh, there it is. Oh, I might have to edit it after. Oh no.